Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. It's a preview, people, of the Manchester United game. I know some are probably still having a little bit of a laugh and watching a lot of these gooners. I'm certain shed a tear, make an excuse. Geez, what else are they doing? Start the blame game. Maybe the Arteta out bus is starting to be warmed up, if not already idling. Yeah, we sit poised to possibly go 8 points with a game in hand ahead of them if we are able to complete our task for tomorrow, which is to beat the Red Devils. So we are going to do a preview today. Like I said, we're also going to obviously have a little conversation about whatever it is that is on your mind. We have today Nalante and the Irishman with us today as well. So I hope that you'll be joining us and chiming in again. Any banter is feel free to put any banter towards our gooners, our gooner friends, I guess. I guess you can call them that. And yeah, let's do this. Let's definitely do this. Nalante, how you doing today?
Over 12th, another interesting day in the Premier League. But yeah, big up the chat also.
Big up, big up. And Brian, how are you doing today too?
Yeah, perfect. Well, actually, no, I'm sick. So yeah, but other than that, I was looking at that Chelsea game, last minute winner
Yeah.
or last minute equalizer for Palace. I'm thinking, okay, this is nice. This is something we can benefit from. Go Palace and all that. Do your thing, but we get the benefit from it. Then if Brighton, then you're thinking if Brighton can go and do the same thing. But I was saying it to Dante before when it kicked off soon. I was like, look, the two of them, I wasn't, hoping for a Brighton win, saying, look, if Arsenal and Chelsea can both drop 2 points today, that's as good as it. That would be a great day for us. And lo and behold,
we've had this day before, though. We've had a psychedelic scientist just put a comment in. He's right. We've had this day before.
Exactly. That's what we needed. Chelsea handed us to no wins in 4 for Chelsea. What title race? What title challenge? Arsenal going with, an apocalyptic front three of Trossard, Jesus, and Wanyeri. I mean, that's Europa League if ever I've heard of it. Jorginho, Rice, and the other dude in midfield. Poor midfield. Marino, Rice, Jorginho. It looked like an awful Arsenal team. I brought it up on my show. That was look at the Arsenal side.
Yeah, I saw that. That's I did see some people.
This is great for us.
One of the titles I saw online for one of the he's an I believe he's an American. I think he's in Colorado. He had his title was is TJ Warren. His title was Criminal Lineup, doomed from the start.
Odegaard on the bench, Martinelli on the bench. Yeah. No Saka.
Yeah.
No Havertz.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why he went with that lineup. And let me bring Nalante.
He's already here. He's joined twice for some reason.
Yeah, maybe he's joining from his computer or phone or something. But yeah, it's a case where I saw the lineup and it was a little bit of like a interesting selection. Nawari on the right, Trossard on the left, Jesus. Obviously, they're going to have to rely on Jesus. I can understand them not going with Havertz and going with Jesus because Jesus has been, trending hot for them lately.
Havertz wasn't even on the bench, though. Havertz didn't even make the bench. Yeah. He was totally out.
And must have been something.
And Timber was injured, or Timber was suspended.
Right. Okay, Havertz was doubtful for this game, so he just didn't.
he did make the bench. Yeah,
But Sterling was doubtful as well. He didn't make the bench.
didn't make the bench.
And then everyone else is either out or or suspended. By the way, yeah, like I said, there's some gooners out there that make you laugh. There's a gooner out there that had a video talking about how Timber is a better player, where he basically said Trent Alexander-Arnold is not better than Timber, and I was like, okay, cool. Tell me when you get back from that alternate dimension or something, that parallel universe or something. Check in. So we'll see. Yes. So Martinelli not starting was kind of interesting. Odegaard got in at the 64th minute. Obviously, Martinelli started. I think got in the first half, if not the start of the second half. I want to say. I think it was second half. He got started, and they ended up with 1-1 draw, people. So it opens up the door for us to continue to extend our lead. Again, all those people that were on the Chelsea Blues bandwagon and talking about how the Blues are a threat and the Blues are this and the Blues are that. No. I don't know. This is something maybe you can ask your friend. He's our friend too, I guess. Friend of the channel certainly. But I know that he's a good friend of yours, Brian. You could possibly ask Ant because he has the whole, I guess the lowdown on on Maresca, the Chelsea manager, and I heard someone who also is a Leicester content creator speak about how Maresca, how they had I think something 21 point lead or something like that in the champion or in the race to get promoted basically last year, and they ended up losing that lead, incredibly so. Like they ended up like the lead shrunk to next to nothing, and he made it. The Leicester supporter was talking about how it was because of Maresca's lineup selections, how he was starting to kind of struggle to figure out how to properly rotate. He was talking about how when the pressure was on, he started kind of you could see that some of the cracks were showing. Chelsea have now been thrown into this frying pan of being okay, well, Arsenal, obviously, City have fallen off. Arsenal is doing what they do best, which is be bottle jobs. And now Chelsea were asked to step up to be our closest contender. And now all of a sudden they're struggling. I would like to know what his opinion is. I don't know. I'd like to know your opinion too of their coach and their team. Do you think that I personally do think that Chelsea just doesn't have the experience and possibly even the leadership to get them across the line or to really properly contend.
Well, if they lack leadership, they should sign Harry Maguire.
Yeah,
He's a leader after all.
Let's see a new contract at United. Big.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get old Slabhead for 25 million.
Yeah.
I don't think Maresca. Who knows what's going to happen there? They were overpowered. I think the word the kids would use in games, in gaming technology, in the championship, they were an overpowered squad.
Mm-hmm.
As I keep liking to find out, the highest wage bill ever relegated from the Premier League, the most valuable squad. That's different, but that's whatever. But nebulous squad value, but the highest value squad ever relegated from Premier League, highest wage bill. They didn't really lose anybody. I think they lost one guy. They lost Keenan Dewsbury Hall to Chelsea, but they still went in then to the championship with parachute payments. basically even in the championship they had a Premier League squad and they had a Premier League wage bill. They had a wage bill higher. By that I mean wage bill higher than 4 or 5 clubs that were in the Premier League at the time. So hugely overpowered. All it took was a good coach. Not all it took, but you give a good coach to that team, and players that they had. It was, yeah, it would have been more of a catastrophe for them not to have won the league, let alone not get promoted. So it was a bit of a false kind of thing that was going on there. Like it was like when Company was at Burnley, but well, no, slightly different. But just a huge points gap, and it was a Premier League team in all but name, or in all but division,
Right.
and so up they went again. But they've hit this freaking block now because they lose that dude, made one of the worst managerial appointments in the last probably 5 or 6 years by bringing in Cooper,
Right.
someone who, like I said, from day one was doomed because the fans are just like, "What are you doing?" Just waiting for him to fail so they can go, "Now can we get rid of this guy, please?"
Right.
And then Ruud van Nistelrooy, what's that? 4 losses in a row, 5 losses in a row.
Yeah.
It's
pretty rude.
This is why I've said I don't think they can stay up, because if you look at the teams, this is why someone said earlier to me, Callum said Everton are going down. I said Everton won't go down, not because Everton are good, because there are 3 teams that will be worse than Everton.
Yeah.
That's all you need sometimes. All you need
Yeah.
sometimes is there are 3 teams to be worse than you, and you can scrape away with it. Everton will be that team that scrapes away from it because there are 3 teams worse than them.
Yeah.
And I think right now they are, like, obviously, Jesus, Southampton, God almighty, what one of the worst showings ever in the league. Getting tanked 5-0 at home by Brentford, embarrassing.
Yep.
Ipswich, good luck to them, but probably going down. And Leicester right now, because the teams above them, they won't do it. Brentford aren't going down. Crystal Palace, that's the only hope they have. To me, the only hope Leicester has is that Crystal Palace completely collapse and just drop points all over the place. They're the only one that's vulnerable above them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Maresca, they lost their best coach in a long time, but it shows you not much loyalty in football. He does 1 year there, as soon as a big club comes calling, it's like, sorry about that. I'm out.
Yeah. Southampton, 6 points currently in the table. Their season is ultimately over from almost pretty much from the gate. We all pretty much knew that they were going to be a team most likely to be relegated. Leicester with 14 points, Ipswich with 15 points, Wolves with 16 points. Albeit that Everton do have 17 points, so it is they are a win away from being able to tie Everton if Leicester were to do so. And but actually Everton, Wolves, and Ipswich all have a game in hand, so they could actually push out further. And Crystal Palace at 21 points, like Brian said, is definitely in reaching distance. But there is another team that's just 1 point ahead of Crystal Palace that could be reaching distance as well, possibly. But I think they will have the same fortune of not being pushed into the relegation zone, and that is Manchester United with 22 points this year. And they sit in all of 14th place. Pretty wild that they are only, again, only 7 points off of being in the relegation zone. That's pretty wild standards for a team that talks about their 20 league titles and speaks as if they are some type of royalty, I guess you could say, in England. And I don't think so. It must be stressful being a United fan. I think very much so. It's stressful. It's one of the parts and points I put in the show today, talking about how this game is an interesting game because I think everyone obviously has United losing this game. Okay. But I'll ask the panel, I'll ask you in the chat. And if you're not watching this on the replay, please do tell us in the comment section after the show. Is this game a game where you have the minds, if you're Amarin, do you have the mindset? And I know that everyone's going to say, oh, of course you go into the game wanting to win. But I mean, you can tell a team that is set up to win or a team that's set up not to lose. Do you go into this game with the mindset of A or B? Do you go into the mindset of let's go into this game, let's play our game, let's go out and try to really win all our battles, win all our duels, and go and try to put them on the back foot and get this win? Or do you play conservative and you say, no, let's just do what they did last time? I'll be a different coach, but I mean, do you do what they did last time, which is just park the bus and try to and hope for the best? What's the train of thought you think that they're going in? Nalante, I'll ask Nalante first. What is the bigger message that you're trying to send your guys in the locker room? If you were trying to, what do you think they're saying, at least? Not your guys, their guys, I should say. I'll ask you that, Brian, because I see Nolate's on still on mute. Go ahead, if you can, for me. What do you think is the message? What do you think is the game plan for United?
Yeah, I think he's going to do what he does always. Maybe feel it out for about 10 minutes, but then what do you think? Sorry, what do you think Amarim's game plan is going
what do you think, Amarim?
Amarim's, oh God, oh geez, man. I think he's going to go out and go, like someone said to me earlier on. They were watching the last Manchester United game, and there was players on the pitch looking at him.
Oh yeah.
With, kind of saying, "Should I be here?"
That was Casado. I just saw that clip.
Actually. Yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah, they did the breakdown. They were doing the breakdown of the clip. I think it was Jamie Carragher was doing it, but he was saying how
they're looking at the bench.
You can see Casemiro looking back at the bench. He's looking over his shoulder for whoever's supposed to be there, and then he's looking back at the bench, being like, "What do you want me to do?" And you see Amarin telling him go forward, go attack, go get in there. And
I have a question for you. How do you think that's going to work out for you playing Liverpool?
Yeah. On a day like that, as a forward, you're just like, yes.
Can you imagine?
Where's the line for the goal buffet? Because this is going to be.
It's an all you can eat. It's all you can eat today. It's all you can eat for Mo Salah and Cody Gakpo. You played the game. You played the game. If you're going to play with a back three, right, with three center halves, if that's not quite working, if you haven't got that perfected, what happens to it? If it's brilliant, right? If your Juve or and it's drilled into them and they can do it in their sleep, right? Then okay, it can be effective. But what happens to a back three when it doesn't know what it's doing? It gets fucking destroyed. It's all over the place. It's so risky. They've nothing. We're just going to go. So you're going to leave all this space over here, yeah, where Mo and Gakpo want to be. You want to do that, and you're going to. Oh, we're going to try and do this to him. Be all bit, we are going to destroy what they want to do, because he's going to stick to that. To answer your question, he's going to say, "No, I'm going to do my thing because I can't compromise because I need to teach him what I want to do." Yeah, we're going to have some what would they call it, bumps in the road. Right. This ain't going to be a bump in the road for him. This is going to be a boulder in the road. This is just going to be difficult and damaging for them in equal measure, I hope. He has to come out and do the De Zerbi thing, the Ange thing. I play the way I play, mate. It ain't going to change. You know, eventually I'll have the right players, but why would I compromise? That's not why you bought me. Cool, man. Bring it all day. Awesome. Because Slot is known, he's going to know exactly what you're going to do. Yeah, maybe in 2 years' time with another 800 million, you might have a good team. But right now, you don't. And it's rudimentary. It is rudimentary how to take apart a team that plays that way with players who don't know how to play it. And like we said, are literally looking to the bench going, here, there. I mean, what, me, him, where, when, what, you know, in the middle of a freaking game.
Yeah.
This should be ugly. This should be ugly for
it should
us,
be
for them.
It should be for it should be. Yeah, it should be. Oh man. Wow. Yeah, it should be. It's one of those cases where you might hear occasional person yell, "Mercy, mercy."
What are they going to do? Bring on Anthony?
I
If it
don't
ain't
know.
working? What are they going to
know.
do? Bring on Garnacho? What are they going to do to us? Bring on Diallo? Yeah, it's going to be a very.
It's going to be.
But yeah, we're not going to talk about the elephant in the room. By the way, the talks about the possible cancellation again. If that happens, it happens. We're not going to go into that. But there is going to be a meeting. There's going to be a meeting in the morning to decide whether it goes ahead. So there is still a possibility that we might have 3 bloody games in hand at the end of tomorrow, which we don't want. But yeah, we'll just ignore that little
or
thing because it hasn't been confirmed.
Two games.
Yeah, but if tomorrow, but we've already got Arsenal. Arsenal have already played 2 more games than us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So then we don't play tomorrow. Yeah, but we won't. Let's just assume and hope that it goes ahead because there's going to be a meeting in the morning to look at it. But there is weather warnings, snow, all the usual this time of year. But
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So again, do you go? Do you say you think that he's going to go in and say, "Look, we're just going to
do his thing, man.
We're just going to have to be. We're just going to have to be. Yeah. It's going to be painful, but I want this team to go forward." It's interesting because right now in this season, I think we've seen a number of coaches that are getting tested with their persistence of trying to get the process or believing in the process kind of concept. Because I know the Spurs, for instance, lost today against Newcastle 2-1. It is definitely slippery ice, thin ice.
Turning on Ange.
Yeah, thin ice for Ange. There's no dingo there, so right. So I'm not gonna do the accent. Don't worry. But what is going on with Ange in the sense of the fans are saying we get the offensive minded style that you're utilizing. We get that you're bringing excitement back to the team in the sense of by having a system that creates offense, but yet they're still getting kind of, scored on and sometimes beaten by teams because of that little bit more open style. And people are saying, "Oh, change up this style. We know that we know that it'll be going against your philosophy, but we don't want to concede, or we want to be able to hold on to games, or you got to be more adjustable with your mindsets of your formations and your strategies." United are in a place where they're going to have to figure out what is acceptable, because this match is going to scream out for them to play a more parked bus mentality, and they don't necessarily have the components to run the system that Amarin wants. So it's kind of like, do you try to force these players to play your system despite the fact that they're not, quote unquote, the players that you would ideally have playing in this system? or do you create a system that gets the best out of those players? You get what I'm saying? Like, or is that just, again, is that just, oh, well, if you do that, then you might fall into a place where you're never really going to get an opportunity until you get those players, at least, to really implement your system. And this is for Amarin, obviously.
Well,
Monte?
yeah,
He's still on mute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can see he's still on mute. See, if he's coming and he's got the whole, I'm a new manager, you're hiring me. You know I do this, right? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, but you know I do this, right? This is what I do, right? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, you know I won't have the players to do it, so it's going to look pretty ugly at the start because they'll have to have said to him. So he has that behind him. It's not like he has been there 3 years, right? And he's trying to force... so he can fall back on that. It's like you ask someone to come in and do a job for you. You knew what kind of person they were, and they said, look, it ain't going to work for a while until I get time to change the things I need. I can come in and do stuff now, but it's not going to be great. It's going to be a bit clumsy, which makes the appointment even more strange. But he has that to fall back on. So he's sitting there going, look, you hired me because I did what I did. And I achieved what I achieved. I achieved what I achieved, and I did what I did by playing this way. This is the way I'm going to play.
Yeah.
Eventually, you will get me the players. I'm not going to come here and go, oh, okay, yeah, I can throw together a 4-4-2 here, and I can get a 4-3-3 in that game. I can do it. So, no, these are my principles. That's what they're all about now. So yeah, they'll have to eat that. But like, if the guy that hired you, right, in the previous summer, was basically going all across Europe, trying to find a manager, publicly trying to replace you as a manager, Eric Ten Hag, interviewing people, trying to get people to take the Man United get a job, getting knocked back, realizing that basically there wasn't a manager that you wanted that was going to take over, and saying, okay, then offering Ten Hag a new contract. Right, even him knowing that the only reason he got a new deal is because no one else would take his job, and then 6 months later, at most, you sack Eric Ten Hag to bring in a new manager. Do you want to go and work for that guy?
Yeah.
Is that the guy that you think in 18 months' time is still going to be backing you? And if he did a Ten Hag and he acted like that with Ashworth, why don't you think he's going to do the same to you in 12 months, 18 months?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the kind of guy you want to go? Is that, oh, that's a stable guy. They run a great ship there. Yeah, they've done everything really well. No, it was just bad, man. To me, the writing is clear there. He talked about getting relegated and all that stuff. That's just weird.
Mm-hmm. It is weird, and that's why it's like, I saw psychedelic scientists bring up this Amarin's first 11 games, three wins, 1 draw, 7 losses, losing their first 4 games in a row. I wouldn't be surprised if. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd have to double check. Maybe someone in the chat could check for us. But what was 10? I mean, Ten Hag didn't get 11 games. So, but what was his last 11 games? What was Ten Hag's last 11 game record? It would have to go into the previous season, but I wonder what his record was going into this. Into before the interim change, because a good number of the wins and a little bit of the,
but don't forget Rude as well.
Exactly, that's what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to bring up. Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say the bounce really happened when it was Rude at the helm. Not
he had 4 games, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
got a couple of wins. I think they beat Leicester twice in that 4 games, which is. Next thing you know, he's managing Leicester. He's losing 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
Love at first sight, eh? Doesn't always work out.
It doesn't. Hindsight is 2020 for sure. Psychedelic scientists. Oh man. Yeah, you could look at it that way. I mean, he's looking. I saw the clips of Salah speaking, and I saw the interview, but I saw the clips from the interview as well that highlighted some of the more clippable comments that he made, and he was speaking about how this is his last. He was looking at it as it is his last season, simply because that's what his contract says. Until he has a new contract, yeah, of course, it's going to be that's the mindset. And he's like, he's thinking about, oh, could I go into it thinking that this is, with my head all worried about the contract or whether this is going to be his last season or not. He's like, no, he's like, I could think about it being my, a great season or one of my best seasons. So he's got the mindset of making this his best season, bringing the city a title, as he put. And I think you're right, is that psychedelic scientist, by saying that he will use this. I think he'll be looking at this platform being possibly the last time United and Liverpool play each other with Salah involved in it. He will make this a memorable game, I think, for himself. He'll be looking to get involved immensely in this game, I think. Let's see what else was there. Hyler was talking about the Rashford portion of it. Yeah, Rashford he has style. Oh, okay, good for his style. He's an interesting player. Would you take Rashford on?
No, don't be silly.
Okay.
No.
You shut that down quick.
Streakier than bacon. Streakier than
I
Danish
couldn't get the question out. You're all like, nope,
Yeah.
no.
Streakier than, yeah, that guy will score. No chance.
No chance. Yeah, Red Armchair supporters with you. He's like, no. Yeah, I don't think most would think of him as having the ability to. I don't think he would measure. Hell nah. Hustle Boom says, I got you. Big up Dara, by the way. Big up Dara. Yeah, I don't know if he would. I kept emphasizing the fact that I think there are players that are Liverpool players, and what I mean by that is even less to do about the talent of them. I'm not speaking on just the talent level. Obviously, we want talented players, but that it's not even like they use that algorithm. They crunch all the numbers and such, but when they do their due diligence in trying to find players that fit Liverpool in the mentality that they have, the whole what Brian says, no dickhead mentality, like that is very important. I'm not saying that Rashford is the latter, but what I am saying is that I don't know if he would have the same, like if you were to tell him, oh, you're gonna have to press, you're gonna have to do this, you're gonna have to do that, you're gonna have to give up this little portion of your game just you're gonna sacrifice this portion of your game to supplement it with this portion to help the entire team. I don't know if they would do those things. I don't know. And I think that if anything, they would push back and say, do what you saw often, or with some players for United, which is just throw up your hands and say, do you know who I am? I'm Anthony, or I'm Rashford, or I'm Sancho.
No, I wouldn't ever accuse Rashford of not working. I just think it's sort of his game wouldn't be sort of it's not something I would have thought of him really too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be willing to buy into a good team ethic. The only thing I just think about him is just overrated because he's a Manchester lad.
Mm-hmm.
He only had one really, really strong season, scored about 28 goals in all comps or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's a good player. He's not a great number 9. He's an okay, kind of like an Anthony Gordon type. He's not a winger. He's not a striker. Plays off the left, cuts in and shoots. Kind of just that's what he does. He's very limited in what his skill set is.
Right.
It's sort of like a lower end of Cody. You know, Cody has a very sort of specific thing that he does. He likes to play on the left, cut in and shoot. That's what Rashford did. He did it once in one good season. He becomes, you know, the poster boy probably more often than not. Like if he was French, if he was Italian and they'd bought him and he'd been on the Barron run that he's been on, there'd be nobody talking about him. It's just because he's a Manchester boy. And they all love him. But yeah, to me, just really just a classic kind of overrated, really good, but not 300 grand a week starting for Manchester United good.
I think
You know,
I understand
just,
that too.
just okay, you know, it's just that kind of middling kind of, you know, good player. Like, but yeah, I just yeah. I know what Kevin's saying. Yeah, I didn't even want to get into the off the pitch stuff because I think he's a legend off the pitch. Basically, you know, the stuff he was doing off the pitch is, but just as a player, it's just like, no, man, he just seemed to me to kind of he'd look really good for 2 games and then do nothing for 6 games.
Would you rather? Would you? I would say a fit Chiesa I would rather have over Rashford. To be honest with you, I think a fit Chiesa offers you more than Rashford. To be honest with you, but that's not saying that Rashford isn't a good player or doesn't have talents to be.
All I say is, right, in my whole time playing before taking a year off this year, my whole time playing FPL, nobody ever puts Rashford in their team. Only for that one brief moment. And FPL is all about numbers, stats. What's going on? And Rashford just never backs it up. Other than that one time where you had a golden spell, nobody in FPL ever had Rashford in a team because he just doesn't put numbers up. Statistically, you know, in the way you play that game, if you're doing it properly, he's just not someone. Only a United fan would put Rashford in their team. It'd be crazy. You know, and that's been like that for 8 years.
Yeah.
And he's a forward getting 300 grand a week. This is what I'm saying. Do you know, if that's illustrative enough, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, he's just someone like, yeah, okay, whatever, but he just does not do numbers.
Yeah. Speaking of numbers, there was a number, or there wasn't necessarily a number. There was Newcastle. You spoke about Gordon, Newcastle's winger, Gordon. Obviously, we were linked with him for quite some time. The deal fell through.
Bring him home. Home.
Yeah. Which some of us are happy about. Some of us were not happy about. There were those people that wanted to see Gordon be either the replacement for Diaz, and or they just wanted to. They thought that the player was a better player. There has now been a rumor that this January window could see, not us necessarily go for him. I'm not saying that us. We're still being looped into the articles because it probably draws attention, and by when you put that search in, or you know, the algorithm puts in here's that you're looking for football news and Liverpool's name is in the article. But there is a team now that's looking at possibly pursuing Gordon as a enhancement to their team, and that team is Manchester City. Now, for all those Scousers, I know we don't have Lee in the chat, but for those Scousers out there that are saying
Captain Lee, by the way,
Captain Lee, saying bring our Scouse boy home. I don't know what your opinion of him would be if he goes to City, ends up going on to City to try to enhance their team. I don't know about that one. That's a weird link. That's a very weird link. We're gonna get into the preview, the official preview of the game in about a few.
Who would he be going there over? They've got Doku on the left. That don't make sense.
And
they've got Grealish. That don't make sense. They got Savinho. He plays central on the right.
He plays on the right. I would say more. Yeah.
They just brought in Echeverry, who it was lined up to bring him in. They bought him last year. He was going to come in. Echeverry, kind of an attacking midfielder guy. Yeah, that would be kind of like us kind of going, well, oh, Liverpool are linked with a player. Oh, who is he? Oh, he's a left winger. It's like, well, that's not going to happen. Diaz, Gakpo, it's just stop. That's not going to happen.
Mhm.
So if he was linked with somebody, if he was linked with Manchester United, maybe that
No,
would make more
Manchester
sense.
City
Maybe.
was
Yeah,
the
but they don't
in the
need
article.
they don't need a Gordon.
It said Manchester City
Yeah.
are looking to get involved in the pursuit of Anthony Gordon.
The two teams I think right now that could use him the best would be, I think he'd fit in perfectly at Arsenal if Martinelli isn't going to be doing it on a
How
left
far
wing.
is Martinelli? What is up with Martinelli?
I
That's a
know,
player
man.
that's a player that
Yeah.
we were heavily interested in. I know Jurgen Klopp was a very big fan of him. The coach is a fan of you if he openly speaks about you in interviews, and gives you praises. Martinelli, I mean, geez, I don't understand. I just don't understand that. I know we're talking about Gordon, but
It's crazy. It's huge. It is a real
yeah,
big drop off, and it didn't just start this season. It's he. Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about Arteta earlier on, overplaying Saka, overplaying players, Odegaard. Having someone said it went the last time he came off in a game, he looked like he was shot, looked like he was done. Looked like he was, physically. Wow, that guy looks, like he's run a marathon kind of thing. So maybe I've been saying he overplays players. Arteta overplays players. Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli. But yeah, Martinelli went from being probably like top 2 or 3 in the league in his position to being like, oh yeah, remember when he was good?
yeah.
Very quickly. So I don't know.
Yeah, very quickly. It's seeing this, I don't understand why. Why actually I do understand why. Obviously, because he wasn't available for selection, but all the same, Martinelli on the bench, Odegaard on the bench, Tierney on the bench, Zinchenko on the bench. And he only played 2 subs in this previous game for Arteta. So Martinelli was one of them, but still the same. Martinelli was a pretty much guaranteed starter before this. I could understand you saying that maybe he'd be a good addition to Arsenal if they were to get him. Be interesting if he were to go there. I don't think that Arsenal's going to spend the kind of money it's going to take to move him along from Newcastle, though. To be honest with you.
No, you see, I think that's the problem. I think with Newcastle for people who, if you want Isaac, if you want Gordon, if you want Bruno, they would be like the 3, say, just call it £100 million club, right? You could maybe get 90 for Gordon if they did really well, 100 for Isaac, 100 for, but all they have to do is sell one of those guys, and then they don't need to sell the other 2.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like if they sell one of those guys,
yeah.
It's just, well, no, we don't need to. We're not selling them. So good luck getting them. You're going to have to come in with 150 million.
Yeah. And again, this is the January.
I think Bruno will be the one I think Bruno will be the one they would like to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You can replace DM.
You're talking about the summer. I just wanted to clear. And you're talking about
not January. No, not January.
Yeah,
no. They don't need to sell in January at all. Unless, no, but hey, look, unless they
I mean, Saka's going to be out for a long spell, and if you're now relying on Trossard, who had an okay game today, but Trossard doesn't necessarily thrive in a starter role for them for whatever reason.
He's bitty, man. He's just a bitty player. He can look good and come in, and yeah, he's not a guy you're going to nail your hat on or hang your hat on.
Right.
Definitely.
I know someone that's going to probably push back and be like, "Oh, listen to these Reds. The same guy scored a hat trick on you." Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, he can have a good game. That's why you paid 27 million quid for him, and he plays for Arsenal because he can have a good game.
Exactly.
Can he do it week in, week out against the best, and the biggest?
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Probably not. Well, yeah, it's interesting, but again, Today is a day that we saw plenty of teams drop points that were at least trying to stay pace with us. Obviously, we talked about the Brighton Arsenal 1-1 draw. City might be back in that they ended up beating West Ham 4-1. Crystal Palace obviously got a draw against their London. Is that it's a derby, right? That's a derby, right?
What's a derby?
Palace Chelsea, right? Is it?
No, not
Not
really,
really?
because even in London, there's so many derbies that
Yeah,
they actually
that's what I was
split
wondering.
them east, west, and
Oh,
like
so
if
they
there was
only do it
only
like
two
okay,
teams in London, yeah, yeah,
clarification.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like Chelsea is West London, so that's
you're right. The
Fulham.
North London derby. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know if
Fulham.
there was just like, but still, if you would be maybe considering it's still
Yeah.
London. So
No,
I
there's a very, very weird situation which I won't go into, but Palace actually don't really have a local rival. Their biggest derby, again for reasons which apparently some people can't put their finger on, is Brighton. Now, but yeah, the weird thing, like Palace, the closest teams they would be to are Premier League teams. That's why Palace get so many big players. London is so big that the area down in Croydon
Mhm.
is their own. So yeah, you got North London clubs, you got South, but Palace, yeah, it's Chelsea is Fulham, the other club that I'm clearly forgetting, the other West London club, um, and Millwall as well. But
Mhm.
yeah,
He's saying Kevin's asking isn't it Wimbledon or MK Dons? Maybe when they were in the
well,
league, possibly I guess then, right?
well, obviously not MK Dons now, but when Wimbledon were around, actually in that part, Wimbledon is SW1, right? Wimbledon
Mhm.
is SW1 or SW12. I think that's what they call the movie. So that would
Mhm.
be Southwest. Palace is an East End club, so maybe no.
Okay. I was just wondering. That's interesting. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% on the
We all
geography.
like to be enlightened or educated, We
Yeah,
don't mind the education. Makes us makes us smarter, makes us stronger. Um, Villa got a hard fought win, obviously, because it wasn't
oh,
um,
QPR. That's the club. Sorry,
QPR.
that's the club.
QPR.
It's QPR is the other West London club. Yeah, Fulham
Okay,
and QPR. They're the two West London clubs.
okay. Um, yeah, I know a lot of there's a lot of QPR fans out there. Villa beat Leicester today 2-1, like we spoke on. Everton 1-0 loss
Yeah,
to Bournemouth. That was at Bournemouth, and that's a tough loss to take. Bournemouth's a good team. Not saying that they're not a good team. It's just more so Everton needs to try to do their best to push away from the relegation line, and that didn't help today. 5-0.
it was late doors
Southampton.
though. Just quickly on the Bournemouth goal. The Bournemouth goal was scored by David Brooks, who some people might remember had cancer recently and
Mhm.
went through a tough time, and as people didn't, they didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but thankfully he survived and actually came back to playing football. He was a highly rated player.
Mhm.
When he went to Bournemouth, he was like one of those kind of young English players, really highly rated. And then they found out that he had cancer a year and a half later. But
Mhm.
he's back in the game and he's scoring the winner in the Premier League game. I mean, that's a comeback story if ever there was one. So fair play
Mhm.
to him. I was delighted to see that when I saw his name pop up. I thought, wow, that is awesome. That's just, yeah. I mean, from one place to another, that was good to see his name pop up again. And
Yeah.
Bournemouth stood by him massively. I think Bournemouth even offered him a new contract when he was sick. You know, so yeah, that's great to see.
That is great to see. Um, and Newcastle, obviously, like I said earlier, is victorious over the Spurs at Spurs Stadium, by the way, at Spurs. So that is not something you want to see. Let me see if I can get my camera to come on here. While I work out the issue with my camera, we do have a preview. So we have a lineup. I have a lineup prediction for the game. This one is for us. I do have an idea, or maybe a loose idea, as to who we might see for Manchester United. I have Højlund up top, Bruno, Garnacho, excuse me, Dallo, Manu, Ugarte, Diallo, Martinez, Maguire, Mazraoui, and Onana, and the keeper. Do you see anything different from that, possibly, or no?
Me, Nalante, is Nalante? I haven't got StreamYard open.
No, Nalante's still on mute.
No.
Right now, I'm up here trying to figure out my camera.
No, it is. Yeah, see the thing. Obviously, right? Look, we're sitting here going, this guy plays this, he plays that, but I'm sure he has like a version of what he does that's like a more, I don't know, maybe like defensive version or something. I don't know. You know, I don't expect him to go, oh, I'd play this guy if we were playing Accrington Stanley at home. You know, it's he's you know, he's here so recently. I basically think he's going to go with like the fit players he has, because I know there's a few out. Does he go with Ericsson? Does he go with Casemiro in the middle? I mean, that would be brave, to say the least. You know, does he go, like you say, Dallo, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Maguire, Martinez? Then what are you doing up front? You got Diallo, Højlund, Xerxes. Is he going to play after his? What are you going to do? You know, none of that sounds good to me. You know, if I was a Manchester United fan, I'd be like saying, no, don't do any of that. All those things you've just talked about doing, no, don't do any of that. You know, not Casemiro and Ericsson in midfield. Ugarte, right?
Yeah.
Ugarte. Yeah, he comes in, right? So what are you going to do? Ugarte and Casemiro in a two, because you need your wing back, so you can only have two in the middle. And then you're relying on, then Bruno has to play, right?
Yeah.
So he probably plays ahead of that two. He's not going to be in that two.
I have him as
I have no idea.
I mean, like, I don't think he should play in that too, but I know that Bruno has played a 10 role, and he does. I
suppose if you can play Ericsson in midfield, you can play Bruno in there.
Yeah, they play a 3-4-2-1, and I have Fernandes as one of the left-sided of the two.
Ratzilla.
Yeah, Ratzilla. Yeah. Yeah. What was the chef movie? Ratatouille.
Oh, Ratatouille, yeah. I've still never seen that. Yeah. I saw 10 minutes of it at Christmas, literally a week ago.
I think that's one of JK's favorite movies too, by the way.
I think so.
I think it is. I think he mentioned that. Yeah, JK will have to correct me if I'm wrong about that. I apologize if I got that wrong.
Yeah, I think it's that and Frozen and the My Little Pony.
No, let's not go too crazy. No.
I think those are his top 3 movies.
No.
My Little Pony is definitely his top. I know that one.
Arne will bring in either Kanate or Kwanzaa for Gomez and Sabasalat.
That's my random shout for the weekend. I think Ibu starts is my random shout for tomorrow.
That's a shout.
Ibu might start. I think Ibu might start.
Ibu looks lively. He looks in the sense of he looks like, you know, walking around jovial, you know, doesn't look like he's like, you know.
Yeah, I think he'll give him, basically, if you know what I mean, I think he'll give him the 60 rather than give him the 30. Do you know what I mean? I think you start him and take him off. Hopefully, with like at West Ham 4-0 up, right? We can do some shit rather than start with someone and try and get him 20 at the end when the game is already in its flow.
Kwanzaa, man. I had such faith in him in the beginning of the season. Such faith. That's a shame. He is certainly.
But we all want Ebo and VB back together as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that is the way I would do it. If Ebo, if the meds say Ebo can start and play an hour, I'm doing that rather than going. No, do you know what? We'll start with Jarrell, bringing Ebo into a game that's in the middle of a game, and try and get him up to speed because it's harder to come in. You're right into a game. You're sprinting all of a sudden or something like that. Get him in at the start. Give him his hour. Hopefully, then take him off. Maybe even not if he doesn't need to come off. Give him a thumbs up after an hour and go, "You okay?" You go, "Yeah, cool. I can do 10 more. Cool, do 10 more." Something like that. But I'd just give him the 60 rather than 30 is the way I'd look at it. And then he's back in it. You don't need to give him minutes against Spurs or Accrington. Because I don't want him playing against Spurs. So I'm giving him the minutes as early as possible. If
I think that
Scott was saying, the 2 training sessions were big. If he can go and do it in a first team training session, I think he will start. That'll be my bold shout for tomorrow, anyway.
That is a bold shout because I think the FA Cup game you'll see very heavy rotation. You'll probably
want to see Nialo or whatever Nalo isn't it? I want to see him playing in that game. I don't want to see Ebo anywhere near that.
Yeah. Trey Nialo and no Mara. I think it's a Mara Nialo. I have to double check. But it's you would have a case where you'd have FA Cup more likely. You'll see like a Dan's get some playing time probably. You'll probably end up seeing like some of these players that didn't necessarily. You'll have some selections on the bench to go to just in case we need to go. We need to do that. Go to that resort. FA Cup. They're not doing the same rules as a League Cup as well, right? With the replays and stuff like that, or no replays and everything.
Oh no, it's only they scrapped the replays in the League Cup. Yeah.
I would just okay.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, not in the FA Cup. Yeah, there's still. Unless, hang on, I've been wrong before on these kind of things, but I didn't hear. I heard they definitely scrapped them, as we know, in the League Cup. But I heard that was like, no, the replays are a big thing in the FA Cup for the smaller teams. So yeah, they're definitely still in place, especially in the early rounds. Maybe there might be a change in extra time rules maybe later on, but yeah, I don't think that the replays have been affected.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously. Apparently, Ibu had a foot injury. That's what I have listed as being an injury that he was trying to. I know he had a knee thing, but for some reason it was listed as a foot injury for some reason. Bradley, the hamstring injury, obviously are returning to training and will be undergoing fitness tests before the match. Brian made his bold prediction of saying that Konate would start this game. Joe Gomez, has suffered the hamstring injury and will be not only miss this match, but will miss a good bit of January because of that. But Konate and Bradley, obviously, even if they were available and even if they did both start, they're most likely not going to get a full 90. So you will see Kwanzaa play some type of role in this matchup.
Sorry. Can I mildly qualify what I was saying? If Ibu was on the bench, right? If he's fit enough to be on the bench, I'll start him. But if I know tomorrow he can't be in the squad, I'm like, okay, cool. Obviously. But if he's on the bench, if he's fit enough to be on the bench, I would start him, and I think he will.
Okay.
But obviously, if he's not, but the call will be made. But I don't see Ibu sitting on the bench and then coming on. I think he either starts or he's not in the squad. Yeah, that's what it is. I think he's either starting or he's not in the squad.
Okay. Midfield, I think we'll see the regular trio. I know some people might have differences in the likes, but we'll see. I think we'll see the regular trio because Dominic is returning from suspension. For Manchester United, they have Luke Shaw out with a calf injury. They have Lindelof out with a concussion.
Hang on, sorry, you telling me Luke Shaw is out injured?
Yeah, I know that's a strange situation
Who could have thunk it?
to have to deal with, but he is out still with a calf injury.
I hear him and Reece James have a support group that they do with each other. It's just him and Reece James. They meet up halfway between London and Manchester.
They dress up in janitor's outfits
and they watch the game together and reminisce about what could have been.
Yeah. Mason Mount is out with a strain. They're out. They're all three of those players are out long term. By the way,
65 million for Mason Mount.
Yeah. Yep. Defensive lineup will likely feature. I did say Martinez, Maguire, and Mazzari, but I did have another idea. I put it down for myself here. It could be De Ligt in that back three instead of Maguire, but we'll see about that. Maguire, this is an important matchup. I know Maguire is probably very, very actively pressing to be a part of that lineup. So, but if you were to switch it up, I mean, that's if they go with a back four, then obviously you'll see De Ligt and Harry Maguire. But I don't think they're going to go with a back four. They're going to go with a back three, and maybe Martinez gets pulled. And would you start Maguire over Martinez? Because
he's a leader.
Yeah,
he's a leader.
Stop. I just saying only because Martinez has had such struggles against the Butcher has definitely looked more like a Baker.
The vegan Butcher, you mean?
Yeah, the vegan Butcher. It's funny too. Even I hear Red Devils using that term for him now. That's when your own fan base uses what the rivals say about your player. That's not good. That is
solar powered vegan Butcher. 100%. He's 100% carbon neutral. That dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, a great little player. I'm sure in the right system, in the right team. He'd probably do well. But Maguire, even Johnny Evans still there, Lindelof.
Mm-hmm.
These are remnants from a previous an era that not even this guy wants to move on from. It's from the guy before that, It's
no doubt.
It'd be like if we still had Henderson and oh crap, I don't know. Some centre half we had like 6 years ago still at the club, still just hanging around, and then all of a sudden they're getting games again. Even though you just spent 280 million quid in the summer.
Yeah.
I think they spent over 200 million anyway last summer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they've still got Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire. They lose Jadon Sancho. I mean, would what's his name? The dude that's there now. Would he rather not the manager Maresca he could probably do with a Sancho, by the way it looks like he sets up his team.
Yeah.
He could probably have gotten a better player out of Sancho than the other guy did.
Yeah.
The place is just like, if you pick apart the bones of what they've been doing, I think maybe
Maresca has gotten a better tune out of Sancho. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happened to Sancho when he got to United, it's just like, geez, that was a car crash.
I think it's a lot of
the
ego thing. It's a lot of the I'm making 300,000 and I haven't done much of anything, type mentality. Like it's not like I've won titles or I've set the world on fire by my skills on the pitch. It's more so I've been a solid player. I was a very highly rated player, but is it worth? Should you be making, south of 50,000 south of what Mohamed Salah is making? Probably
Yeah, you're
not.
going to sign the deal they offer you. That's the problem, man. You got to
Yeah,
bring
no
these
doubt,
guys. You
no
got to get
doubt.
a manager coming and go, don't fuck it up with that guy, okay?
Yeah,
Don't fuck it up with him. Don't end up letting him go on loan or some shit like that.
yeah.
Letting him out of the squad. Hey, look, if it ain't going to work for you, let's just quickly flip this guy for 68 million. We paid 80. Let's just pretend it's all cool and flip him for 68.
Yeah.
You know, you don't let it drag the arse out of it where he's walking away and he's not playing for. He's there. He's there to be used. He's
Yeah.
a clearly very, very good footballer. You know, Eric Ten Hag, as far as I'm concerned, isn't big enough to. I'm not saying not big enough to fall out with a Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho isn't Messi or something like that. What I'm saying is Eric Ten Hag isn't big enough to be going around falling out with players who they spent 80 million quid on and pay 300 grand a week just to prove that he won't be fucked with. You know, that's not how. He doesn't have the backup to do that. He doesn't have the CV to do that. You know,
Yeah.
as soon you can do that if you want, but you better be top of the league.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you can do that if you want, but you better not finish 6th, 7th.
yeah.
Fall out with Ibrahimovic if you're Guardiola, but not if you're Eric Ten Hag at Manchester United.
Right. And that's the thing about it. Manchester United are on out of the last 5 games, they've won 1 and lost 4. They've been struggling, winning only 2 of their 7 league matches in December, and are currently on a 4-match winless streak with a goal deficit. And hear this out, with a goal deficit of 11-3 over those matches. So they've scored 3 goals and had 11 scored on them. That is not good. Liverpool, on the other hand, we've been, dare I say, in fuego a little because we have been winning and doing well in our wins. We've won 23 out of 27 matches under our slot machine with 6 wins.
How many have you lost?
We've lost one match.
Just the one?
Just the one.
Just the one. People count it on your little pinky finger. That's all you need.
Yeah, just the one. It goes to show you. You know what's funny about it is it goes to show you how the mentality that is going on in the Red Devils camp. I heard Cass from Never Foul say his squad is undefeated in the new year.
Oh, that's cute. That is so cute. That is so. Can I get him a button? Can I get him a button or something? Oh,
I was like, you are priceless, bruh. You are priceless, my guy. Oh,
hammer him
man.
undefeated in 2025. Put it on a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
exactly.
Man.
Undefeated in 2025.
Put it on a t-shirt. You better sell it before fucking tomorrow.
Wear it out tonight while you still can. Oh man, that is so bad. So bad.
Because we all know the Manchester United fans, as Hedor is putting in there with the, we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to assume everything is going on. But they're on their knees praying to the weather gods.
Oh, absolutely.
They're adopting new religions. Is there a snow god? Is there a storm god we can pray to?
Yeah. That's one thing that does suck about the weather being the way it is that it's not necessarily the best weather to see another opening up of a 7-Up can at Anfield,
Oh man, don't worry about that. Sometimes bad weather leads to an open game. I think it will play into our hands.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have a bit, the more like we said earlier, these guys are confused where they're supposed to be standing on the pitch. Imagine if they can't see because of the rain and the wind, and we're like pop, 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 banging around them. Mm-hmm. They're like,
oh no, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse too. Getting beat, that's horrible enough. But they have to get beat in like some downpour rain. In some freezing rain.
They're from Manchester. They grow up in the rain. It rains there 99% of the time. Manchester is like fucking.
That's still
no, man. Don't matter. Look, this is England.
I get it.
People
I get
get
it. I get it.
these weather, like it's been like that for 300 years. And this is normal weather. It's just now we get amber warnings and orange warnings and
Right.
everything is like, but we play games in these conditions millions of times. It's just basically if anything happens where someone goes, oh, someone might slip on that footpath over there on the way to the
Mhm.
stadium. That won't be good enough. You know, we might get sued for £5,000. You know, that's you're going to get one of these snotty little civic engineers, city council people going, no, we're not going to risk that. But you get the people out there tonight. You get the gritting machines, you know, the trucks that drive around on the road. You get the roads open to the game. And
Yeah.
just use
The
people.
salt.
Use common sense. Use
Yeah.
common sense. Don't go out and like fucking shoot. It's snowy and slippy. Don't go out wearing, you know, take care in the weather.
Mhm.
Be safe, get to the game, use common sense. And it's not going to be a snowstorm. We joke about this all the time, but in England, it literally only takes about 2 inches of snow for the whole country to go into lockdown.
I bet. I bet.
You know, they're not built for snow. Rain, wind, as soon as it snows, they're like, shut everything down, shut it down, shut it down. It's like people in Canada would be like, that's not snow.
Yeah.
That's frost.
That's a dusting.
That's frost.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's like
dusting.
that's the thing that happens 2 weeks before the snow comes.
Right.
And England's like, shut the motorways down, shut the
Right.
whole country down, and you get on the news, weather alerts. They can't handle snow over there, not built for it. So that is the one thing that could actually, if you wake up tomorrow morning in England and it's dumped a load of snow on Liverpool overnight, then they will fucking stop it. Yeah, they will
What
immediately. So
is
that's the only problem.
in the chat? Please tell us. And I'm gonna ask Brian. I know Lamonte's dealing with something. I think so. I'm gonna ask, who is the player that we have to shut down for Manchester United to not get started up?
Yeah, Chuck, get that in, Chuck. Come on, get involved. Who's the main threat?
Who is the main threat? Who's the one person that you want to see shut down because that person could ignite them to have a good game?
Hustle, come on, be serious.
I know, Hustle Bones. Yeah,
He's a leader. He's a leader.
yeah.
I wonder when they give him like a cape or something, or like a special armband. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? With just
Yeah.
leader written on it instead of captain.
Leader. Yeah, he just gets a badge.
Yeah, but yeah, an
Just
extra
says,
badge.
I participated today or something.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my participation badge. That's a good shot. That's a good shot. That's definitely he's saying he got to captain that guy. I don't think I don't see anything about him becoming the captain again.
Contain.
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying got to contain him, not captain.
No, contain him. Oh, I
contain him. Yeah, keep him under wraps. Yeah, keep him under wraps. Yeah.
I read that quickly.
Yeah,
I know. I think
like,
about that earlier.
A couple of months ago, it was Mainu. Before that, it was Garnacho.
Yeah.
You know, now it's Diallo.
Yeah.
There's always this. Oh, it's this kid now. Oh, Mainu. Oh, he's not the best kid at the club. Hang on, 6 months ago, you were going. Wait. Mainu was in the England squad. Now it's before that. Yeah, it's Garnacho is the next. Whatever they wanted to call him. It's always this young kid. It's this young kid. Like you see them all the time. They're out there all the time now. Going, look, get rid of all these boys. Just play the kids. They're playing the kids. They don't realize they are playing the kids. They're playing the best kids they have already with Mainu and Diallo. There ain't these other kids behind them that could come in and take over Ericsson, Casemiro, Maguire, Evans, Lindelof, all these players. They want, get rid of all these boys and just bring in the kids. It's like, no, sorry. What these Manchester United fans haven't realized is you've already done that. Mainu, Garnacho, Diallo, those are the best kids at your club, and they're in your freaking first team.
Mm-hmm. Big up, Tom, by the way. Good to see you, Tom. Been a little while. Good to see you.
Oh, hi, Tom. How you doing, man? So, yeah, that's, to me, it's just like, it's weird. I've seen loads of people Man United fans like saying to him, well, what we need to do is this, what we need to do is this, and like get rid of all these players and just play the kids. I think if you bring in more kids than you already have in your team, you're probably going to be playing some fucking 15-year-olds.
Well, then
You're already
who then? We all said, or we've said who we think we need to shut down. I think we need to shut down. We cannot let.
well, Bruno.
I
I'd say
think
Bruno, okay, because
Bruno
he'll
is the
dictate
biggest
their
threat
shit.
on the
Yeah,
team.
yeah, basically Bruno. Yeah, if I had to pick one of them, yeah, because he'll dictate their thing, and if you
Right.
stop him, you'll
He's
probably
one
stop
of the
the whole
people
lot.
that if he's firing and he's on and he's good,
Yeah.
chances are he'll be the one that can be a issue or a problem for us in one way or another. But how
Even if
about
we didn't, we'd beat them 4-2.
right?
You know,
How
it's like
about
even if we don't put the lockdown on him and he has a decent game, we're still beating them. So, but yeah, he is literally the one guy. He's going to might play a pass or
mhm,
do something like that. But yeah,
yeah?
definitely.
How about who is on Manchester United? What player on Manchester United do you want to see have the Bruno Fernandes face
Fernandes.
face at the end of the game? You know that little the one where he's like tearing up
The
and
rat
crying.
face.
The rat face, yeah. Like who's the player on their team that you would like to see the most to see? Is it Maguire? Is it Garnacho? Is it possibly obviously Bruno? Is it Onana?
Ruben Amorim.
Is it Martinez? Geez, I'm trying to think who else. They've got a nice little host of candidates that their misery kind of brings you a slight smile, kind of situation. Misery on the pitch, obviously. Who would it be? Who would you want to see the most be all boo-hooed about the situation? Standing there, sitting there, it's raining. And you see a tear just go down their cheek. Martin, okay, the vegan butcher for Red Armchair supporter. I feel you on that one. Bonkers is saying Hoyland Hoyland wants to be Holland, but he's not. He's just not that great. Oh yeah, that's easy said. Definitely. One goal conceded, and Bruno will start crying, having a tantrum like a spoiled rat throwing his toys out the pram. Right, that's very true. Bruno Fernandes has 6 goals and 10 assists in 27 matches. Garnacho, top scorer of 8 goals and 4 assists in 28 matches. Okay. Bernie's saying that she wants to see Bruno shed a tear. Okay. The risk of being slight, but Maguire is a decent defender. If he keeps it simple, United broke his confidence. Oh wow, Tom with the big up to Maguire. I feel you, Tom. Okay, interesting take. I don't know what Kevin's referring to, by the way, so I might ease off that comment. I don't know what that means. Yes, Mason Mount, Lindelof, Shaw will miss out due to injury, while Rashford is not expected to keep his place in the squad due to illness. I don't even know if he's really ill. That's the scary thing about it. He might have just rang up and said, "I'm sick." Looking at
Rashford.
Yeah.
No, Rashford's not sick.
I don't think he's
He's
sick.
just been told not to show up for work, basically.
Yeah, because I don't think he would have started this match, and there's no way he wants to have.
They're trying to sell him. They're trying to sell him as hard as they can. They're really trying to sell that guy. They're telling him don't show up.
I got you, Kevin. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you completely. Anana wiggle about and put his back up. Okay. Since when is attitude and illness? That's a good question. You could definitely ask Rashford that. Bad attitude. So that's why he's saying he's got a bad cold, I guess. Johnny Evans was missing from United squad in their Monday night defeat to Newcastle and is questionable to return. To be fair, we thought we'll win 7-0 last year, and it was 0-0. So I hope we'll get the win. Be happy with a 1-0. Yet I hope for at least 5-0. It's true. There was the case last year. Us going into this match, we were very much, or into that 7-up match at least, we were in very much opposite spectrums of the conversation. In that, at that time, United were in form. They were playing well. They were on an unbeaten streak, and we were trying to find our form at that moment. Somewhat, we'd had a couple of bumps in the road leading into that game, and there were a lot of Red Devils going into that game that were very, very confident. We're extremely, extremely confident. But that 0-0 draw was weird. That 0-0 draw was a lot of like, to have 30 some odd shots, and I mean a good 30 shots, maybe 34, 35 shots. I think it was something like that, maybe even 36 shots. And yeah, that game was one of those games where you're just like, you scratch your head how we couldn't score on at least one of those attempts. But they were definitely bus. They had the bus definitely parked, and they were definitely ready for anything to happen. 4 goals minimum for the first half. Hustle Bones is saying 7 ups. 7 up. I know. I would like the 7 up. Can we have a 10 up? A double high five maybe game or something? I would love to break the record. It's just this weather is just, the weather is definitely tempering my ambitions, I guess you could say, for us to get that. That's gonna be tough tomorrow. Roy Keane gets his boots on second half. Yeah, there you go, Bernie. I think that'll be when they're down 3-0 in the halftime. Amarin looks and says, "Roy Keane is not walking through those doors. You have to pick up your no." And they go out and get scored 4 more on them. So that would be great. That would be great.
I'll give you a quick fun fact. For last season's game, the 0-0 which you just mentioned before, the game before we beat the last win against Crystal Palace last season, and we were beaten in 9 games before the game.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'll just say quickly before I forget, I did watch a Tottenham stream earlier on for about half an hour. It was on the background. It caught my attention. I left it on. The amount of Spurs fans that have turned on Ange now is crazy.
Oh, it's absolutely
they are going nuts over this guy.
Done.
Yeah, completely done. Yeah, he's playing injuries, kamikaze, the whole thing. I reckon. I sent the lads earlier on. There was a show I was on. At one point, he had 1,000 people in his chat. But when I was watching, maybe 250 up to 400. But 85-90% of people were like, "Get this guy out. Get him done. We're sick of it. Enough is enough." Kind of shit.
Yeah. What's pretty pathetic about their situation?
Because I'm saying it because we play them next after. By the way, he might be gone.
He might be gone by that time.
Yeah, he might be gone. That's why I was bringing it up.
Because I know that they're not going to want to go into that game and get embarrassed. But it's sad if they were to sack him, only because Spurs just don't really allow for, like, they've had big name coaches. You can't say that Conte isn't a big coach. You can't say that Mourinho isn't a big coach. Huh. Yeah, these are big names that they've had in their coaching carousel. And, I keep talking whenever I speak to my Spurs friends. I always bring up the fact of, you guys didn't even give Nuno a chance to, set up his, set up his the pictures on his desk and put like the frames on the wall. You had him out the door, and yet he's got a club in Forest performing well. You know, on in the top half of the table. Yet, you guys are sputtering to try to get back the confidence to do what you guys got to do. And people are going to utilize the whole injury thing, but when you have a history of that word of Spursy, and now you add in injuries, you add in the discontent from the fans and the seeming.
This is it to what you're saying. No, just quickly to what you're saying. And Red Arm said they literally had 11 players fit in training. Guess what? The Spurs fans are saying, "Yeah, dude, that's your fault." They're like saying, "Don't give us injuries."
Oh, so they're saying you're saying these guys are injured because of the way
it's because the way he plays. Yeah,
plays.
yeah. They're saying he has an injury record, the length of his arm. He's saying, "Don't come at us with injuries because the way you're playing is causing injuries as well." And they're half right. There'll always be other things, but they're saying they don't even hear that. They're blaming him for the injuries. I'm not having a go with him. I'm just saying this is the what would the word be? This is the vibe there. This is the feeling there at the moment. Is just like this guy is responsible not for everything. Yeah, okay, but the way he plays is exacerbating everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, don't give us injuries, dude. You're the one that fucking fought for a lot of it, as far as they're concerned. The way they're playing kamikaze football, it was great crack at the start. I was always looking at going, that's not a great idea. But anyway, he'd only ever managed in Australia, Japan, and Celtic. Next thing you know, he has not like he got a really big job there, and all of a sudden he's coming in. It's like he was very entertaining at the start, but I'm not really sure, man. I don't think it's very sustainable. You got to be a little bit more pragmatic, maybe, when it comes to these things sometimes. Especially when look at what happened when Arne Slot took over at Liverpool. I know Heiler was very big on this, right? But look at what happened when Arne Slot took over Liverpool. All of a sudden, for the first 10 games of the season, we had basically a fully fit squad. That's not by accident. That is not by accident. That's by, like, Heiler has been trying to get everybody to cop on, or, well, to his latest thing is, the load management, which is, yeah, well, look, it's always been around, like I was saying earlier on about Arteta overplaying people. Slot came in. Prevention is much easier than cure when it comes to injuries. Much easier. And much highly preferable, by the way. You'd rather prevent an injury than have to cure it under the knife at worst case scenario. So Ange comes in, and guess what? All their players are injured. Slot comes into Liverpool. Guess what? All their players are fit for once. It's no coincidence. It's absolutely not. This whole we do what we do, mate. That's what I am. Yeah, but this is Premier League, Ange. It ain't really, it's not fucking, it's not bar fighting crocodile. Then you gotta, this whole we do what we do, mate. I'm never gonna change. Come on, I ain't gonna carry you over the line, man. It might be good in Scotland when all you have to do is play Celtic.
That's not a knife.
Or play Rangers. Yeah, exactly. That's not a kamikaze defense. This is a kamikaze defense. It's just like
it's horrible. That's horrible. But it's the truth. It is the truth.
Get me some Timo Werner over there. Let's throw another Timo Werner on the Barbie,
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Timo, player that we were highly linked with for a time, and ended up not joining our team, chose Chelsea, and has ever since found his way to a couple of different squads here in Germany and here in or there in Germany and then back in the Premier League. But yeah, it is what it is. Like you said, man, oh man. I hope that Ange is with us for that game, for that League Cup game. It's going to be very, very difficult for them, considering it is at home and considering that we did absolutely spank them 6-3 And it shouldn't have been 6-3. It should have been more like 9-0 or something, or 10.
Or
10-1.
a 3-0 game. No, in a normal world where teams are good and some teams are better than others, that's a 3-0 game. We were 3 goals better than them, but because of their Spursy madness, there was 9 goals in it. But we were 3 goals better than them. If it was just, yeah, like I said, that's just what happens to teams when they go there sometimes. I think he invites it or whatever. And we got caught up in it, definitely. It's like, next thing you know, we scored 6. We won't score 6 under Ange many times, would be my my prediction. That won't happen a lot. Yeah. Especially against a European top 6 team, let alone,
Yeah, in the last 6 games, league games, United had the second worst record with just 3 points. Should we hope for double figures tomorrow or just get the job done? I think getting the job done is priority 1. I would love to see a beatdown, but I don't want to see us give them any type of hope in this game, to be honest with you.
He's in the top 3, Hustle Bones. He's in the top 3. To me, the top 3 Spursiest managers of all time are Harry Redknapp, Glenn Hoddle, and him. Yeah, definitely.
So here's what the managers are saying for Ruben Amorim. Amorim remains optimistic, stressing that anything can happen in a single match. He emphasizes the importance of focusing on improving basic aspects of the game to compete against top teams like Liverpool. And what Slot is basically saying is Slot acknowledges Manchester United's strength despite their current league standing, predicting that under Amorim, United will eventually improve. The whole part of eventually is not that it is tomorrow that eventual status starts. So this is my match prediction. I'm going to bring up my team as well. Should be interesting. I don't know if quick question, do you think Chiesa is going to make bench?
I have a big eye on that. Because it'll tell us a lot if he doesn't or he does. Yeah. I have a big eye on that one. I'm not going to put, who knows, but I think he could be fit and not make the bench, if you know what I mean. There's a couple of signals that have been sent recently. Like I said, I'm waiting for Klopp's or Slot's rootless style to come out. We might see a little bit of it here, but yeah, I think we might see a message or two tomorrow. We saw one at the weekend, previously against West Ham. With Chiesa had been dropped from the squad. If he's dropped from the squad again,
alarm bells.
Yeah.
If he's dropped from the squad again, do you think that's basically?
Yeah.
He's getting his passport ready to go back to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Don't unpack that suitcase, mate. Yeah.
Oh, we got JK in the house too. Straight out of Germany.
What you saying, bro?
Biggie Smalls is the illest. JK version of it. There you go.
Represent.
Representing.
Everything good, yeah?
Good.
I like that. Bless.
We're just about to show the predicted 11 that I have, and oh, that's not good. Yes or no? Do you think Chiesa will be here after January? That's a very good question. Very good question. I think Chiesa is very, very unsettled about the fact that he isn't being utilized. I think if he were just to look at the video of him playing, he would understand that he's not at that fitness level that's going to take to be a trusted everyday asset, much less a trusted asset that starts. And it's something I've been saying over and over and over. Yes, it's fantastic to have players that are going to be able to be superstars that are going to be able to come off the bench or be able to utilize and the likes. But the simple fact is, superstars don't like it when they're not getting match day call ups. It's one thing to be on the bench. If you're not even going to call up to come to the match and be a possible selection, and you're a Chiesa who was just on, one of the biggest teams in Italy, you're a player that is obviously very talented, but just not up to that fitness level just yet. I'm not saying he's beyond skill level, but fitness level yet. It's going to be difficult to get into this squad. And I think
but you can't get a cry arse about it.
Yeah, I can't get what about?
You can't be a cry arse about it.
Okay.
If he's not fit enough, like that was a quote I saw yesterday, is that Slot has been unimpressed with his effort and application to get back to the required fitness levels.
I think that's I can understand that.
That's telling.
Yeah.
If he's good enough and fit enough, he plays. Not plays, but he's in the squad, right? So the fact that like a couple of weeks ago someone said, "Oh, I noticed Chiesa isn't in the team tomorrow. Is he injured?" It's like, no. So is he
Ill? Yeah.
Is he sick? Yeah. He's like, no, it's a squad decision. You're not injured. To me, it said, and then this thing is coming out. To me, I think it ain't worked out. Apparently, Slot is. This is what I've been talking about. Slot being ruthless. This guy apparently said, "Nope, don't impress me." Hasn't put in the work. Hasn't put in the application. If this is how hard he works to get back from this, it's like, it seems like we took the punt, it didn't work. If Inter gives you 20, if Napoli says we'll give you 15.
Oh yeah, if you can make 6 million.
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to do. But you bring someone else in then, because he was here for a reason.
Yeah.
Also, but right now, like I said to the start of the season, I was like, okay, look, right now I'm backing it to work. And I said last night as well, I said, look, if at the end of December he's only played twice, then I'm going to have to revisit, and that's where we are. I said this last night, and that's where we are now. He's played like 2 games since he joined, so it will take a big turnaround, I think. But I was cool as long as it was just injuries, right? I was cool with that. I was like, no, this will work, or whatever. But then as soon as I saw that thing coming out where saying that Slot is unimpressed with him in training, I was like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah, you can see that even when we play against Southampton, there's times and moments where you're like, yes, this player has absolute skills. It's
Chiesa, dude. He's fucking Chiesa. Yeah, we all know. It's like the dude is. But
at the very same time, you see him like
the dude's a baller. We all know that.
But if for a system that's going to require you to be pretty stringent in like being in the right place for those right moments, and it means you got to hustle being here or being there on the pitch. You got to hustle utilizing the counter press. You got to hustle to try to get into position to be on the counter attack. If you're thinking you're just going to be like, kind of able to fall back on your skills and your talents and make a fantastic pass, but not be in the right. But the only reason why you're trying to make a Hollywood pass is because you're not in the right position to make a simple pass that would have gotten the same result. That's going to be an issue and problems, and you're not probably going to find a place on the squad, because there's plenty of players that get it. There's plenty of players that get it, and there's plenty of players that are well oriented towards the system and well oriented towards the fact of what it takes to stay in it. So this is the squad I have.
Just quickly, Hustle Bones is saying, isn't he basically the only Italian at the club too? That's a bigger deal than people think. Look, of all of the reasons why he might not be performing well enough and be good enough to play for Liverpool, fact that he's the only Italian at the club would be pretty low down there.
That's
I mean,
low on the
yes,
list.
it's yeah. Look, if you knew you were going to be going there, if you thought, oh, I can't, it's that is like saying, well, he doesn't like the weather. I think they can deal with that. There's people there. Don is the only Dom is the only Hungarian. Salah's the only Egyptian. I think we can probably keep going. Is it McAllister the only Argentinian in our starting 11?
Yeah, Rabo's the only Scottish player, right? No, Doak's not there with the team.
Endo is the only Japanese player.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I get what you're saying with language and all that. Maybe
I get what your point is.
Language.
I get what your point is. Yeah,
but I think
though that does say a lot about why possibly though teams kind of shy away from going for Italian players. Maybe.
But Japanese is far more different than.
No, that's not the reason why I'm saying that one. I'm saying it because. With the Japanese,
no, I mean Hustle Bones is saying South Americans are South American.
Yeah, there's no way you're gonna like question Endo or a lot of the Japanese players that come over. You're never gonna question their commitment to
No, I just mean in terms of like the singular language barrier. Like nobody at Liverpool speaks Japanese. That's cool. That's a much bigger problem for Endo. But Endo lived in Germany for like 5-6 years. He can probably speak good German, a little bit of English. English is very easy to pick up in bits and pieces, just by living in Europe. Yeah, you watch TV, it's it won't be fluent or whatever, you can get by in it. Chiesa coming over. Yeah, the fact that he doesn't, or fact he's the only Italian, no, to me, man, look, that isn't a reason for not being put in the application. Bernie has put in a load of times that Chiesa speaks good English, and Mo has played in Italy. Mo asked him, yeah, exactly. It's way, way down on the list of reasons why you might not settle in. But Bernie's mentioned loads of times that she's seen videos in training where he looks lackadaisical. He looks like not 100% or whatever it is. But it
doesn't seem like. Yeah, it doesn't seem like. I'm not saying that Chiesa's lazy, but I'm just going to say that it does seem like he sometimes has that. It's similar to what sometimes you'll. I don't think Bruno is necessarily a lazy person, but sometimes when I see Bruno play, I'm like, oh, he's taking one off here, or he's not really putting. He's not like trying to exert himself into the play or. And I think that's similar to what I would say for Chiesa. And most likely it's probably because he normally doesn't have to in a little bit of a slower paced league and with a team that has talent around him that can maybe mask his production like that. Anyway, this is the team I have set up as being our predicted lineup. Take a look at this. Tell me, JK, tell me, Irishman, do you have any contentions with the players I've chosen as being my projected lineup for tomorrow?
That's about right for me. About right for me. The only question mark is it Curtis or Szoboszlai to start. For me, Curtis sort of has earned it to start. He's played pretty well in the last few games, Curtis. Scored a few goals as well. Szoboszlai, before his suspension, had probably his best game for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Against Tottenham.
Yeah,
He was just like, so for me, we're in a bit of a pickle here. For me, Gravenberch and McAllister are definites. It's the other spot. I'm undecided. Yeah, it's a tasty one. Yeah. I don't know, personally, I'll probably go with Curtis because of the Liverpool. He's a Scouser, he's Man United, and he probably kicks some ass or something. And if needed, Szoboszlai's there. That's the only, the rest of the team for me, bang on, because Kwanzaa, they all play. Yeah.
I didn't put too much thought. I didn't put that much thought into my selection with that. But you're right. I get your point. I get your point with the Scouser angle. Hopefully, we can. You know how we like to play towards the cop in the second half.
Wow.
You know, that way you bring in Jones. He gets a late goal. He gets to celebrate in front of the cop. Can't get more scouts than that, right?
I'd rather you do it in the first half. So for me, the front three.
All right.
The front three are cool. I like the front three. I think they're working well together. They're getting goals. I'll keep them front three, even though I'd love to see Darwin Núñez start. But for me, them three on right now on fire.
I don't know if Darwin. You know how I love myself some Darwin. Not as much as Marion, but I definitely do appreciate, or not in the way that Marion does at least, but I do appreciate Darwin. And I would say that I don't know if Darwin's going to get a start in this one. I think that the front three I have here is the preferred front three that he's come to appreciate. I would even go as far as to say he might appreciate this front three more than having Diego in the 9. Is that too bold to say?
Like for me, this is the front three you want right now. Jota, for me, he came on and he scored as well. It's great, man. You've got some serious problems, but they're good problems to have, man.
Spicy pickle.
Yeah. So for me, it's like look at the two guys in the middle. It's Szoboszlai and Diaz. You can swap it for Jones and Jota if you want.
Oh, you mean?
Oh, you could do that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you could do that.
How about for you, Brian? What are your thoughts on the lineup I have here? And tell us in the chat too, by the way. Please tell us in the chat. You know how we do on this channel. We definitely include your comments as best we can, especially at this stage of the channel. We certainly do because it's a good crowd, good contributions, and they're worthy of being a part of the conversation. So, but go ahead, Brian.
Also, one saying I think most sense tactically versus a back three. Also, there's also that bit. I would change if Diogo Jota is fit. I'm giving us the headache. If he's fit and firing, I'll put him in the middle, and then it's like, well, what do you do on the left? Is it Diaz or Gakpo?
I think you do the same that you just said about Núñez and Diaz. I wouldn't mind having it where we just go Núñez in the middle. No, sorry to interject. But quickly, just going off what your point is, Núñez in the middle. We can start with Núñez, bring in Diego, or vice versa, and start with Lucho, bring in Cody, or vice versa on the left. And I would be cool with that. That'd be great maintenance of their minutes. It'd be great. It'd be good to have each one of them have a crack at getting some goals against a very leaky, vulnerable, I think is a better word, defense for Manchester United. And then do the same with Jones and Dom to have those three subs be guarantees.
Yeah, I would. Sorry, Jacob. Sorry.
No, I just quickly want to say, like, for me, the way we've been playing with them three up top and Jones, I would keep them 4 and then switch it around, bringing Jota, Szoboszlai if needed. That's the way I would do it.
Okay. Brian, worry about it.
No, well, I was going to put Evo in, right? So I'll stick with that. I think we'll start.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I'll stick with that one, obviously. I think if like it's the same thing with the if. Like if Jota is 100% fit, I would start him in the middle. Because to me, the best thing you can do to a back three is give them nobody to mark, so they're all just wandering around and they don't know where to go. So you get two wide players who are going to go and hug the touchline, like literally like Gakpo and Salah, literally wide as they can get, and then a centre forward who drops deep away from them. Then you got three midfielders with nobody to mark. They don't know what to do. Everybody else is having to deal with their stuff. They've only got one DM or maybe two. So I'd be playing with the tricky wide players. Yeah, if Diogo Jota is fit, I'll bring him back. If he's not fit enough, cool. Go with what you were going with, put Diaz in the middle and Gakpo on the left. But yeah, it's just depending on the fitness thing. Same with Ibu. Yeah, KJ also thinks Slot will start. Yeah, I think he will. If he's fit enough, he will. You give him the 60 rather than the 30, as I said earlier on, and then yeah, I think we're beyond almost dropping Gakpo right now. At the moment, I think we're beyond kind of him losing his spot to Diaz. So has Diaz taken Jota's spot? That's the next question. But yeah, interesting to see. I think even if Jota only gets half an hour tomorrow, he could still have some impact. I'm happy with either, but yeah, I just like it up against a back three that's trying to learn the game. Get two wide players, drag them, split them all over. Yeah. You know, two fullbacks and who are going high up the pitch. Just drag that Harry Maguire and whoever it is, Lindelof, Martinez. Give nobody to be able to mark one on one. Pop it in and around them.
Psychedelic scientist's point is a very good point, by the way. I think some people are forgetting about the fact that, I mean, maybe because it was so early in the year that we played them. But
yeah. You know, he was the man that day. Exactly.
He was the man that day. He played extremely well against them.
Could be Cody tomorrow. It could be.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, yeah, it could be. That's the thing. We know how to beat these guys. We do. They haven't bought anybody better. I like something Tom was talking about earlier on. He never put it, in the bag, against United.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been more confident in my life playing these guys, and it all works out on paper as well. There's nothing that says, "Oh, you're being overconfident." Absolutely nothing. That team right there, even if it's just that team right there, Kwanzaa, that will batter this United squad.
Yeah,
it will batter them.
I can understand that there could be a shout for, and this is just going off of psychedelic scientist's comment, going off the comment that I just brought up. Hold on, let me find it. I'm sorry. It was by Hustle Bones. We're not taking the bait on that one. And it was I thought it was something else, but what Dustin said. But very similar to what Dustin was alluding to, though, and that is in that game that we won 3-0, where we absolutely, which was the emergence of Gravenberch as being the real deal, as really being the real deal, because he was playing against one of the first teams that people were considering to be an actual opponent for us. In that game, Diego was not good, by the way, and he ended up. I know he ended up getting subbed off. He only had like, I think, one shot in that game. Wasn't really involved. I only had 26 touches. Again, lost the ball 15 times, one interception, drilled past 3 times. He was just not the normal Diego that we recognize. Darwin came in at the 76th minute for him. Darwin's performance in that game was decent. Wasn't anything spectacular. Again, he only had one shot, I believe, himself in that game, but he only had 12 touches in the limited time they got to play. Why I'm bringing those points up is because Lucho was on that left side, and he was doing the work on that left side. And Salah was doing work on the right side. I agree that Cody is a dynamic force on the left. I'm not disputing that. But what I am saying is that let's not forget that Lucho does naturally play the left side, and he, when given the opportunity, especially against certain defenses as well, he can and will cook, and he'll be able to provide a lot of those different things that JK brings up about the retention of the ball and being able for us to form and regain our shape and the likes. That could be something of an asset against a United squad that will have primarily three man back line, and as long as Darwin can stay on side, could be something that could be an issue for them. If you're going to tell me that you're going to rely on Maguire being in the middle possibly or something like that, against them, or a Delict maybe in the middle of there to have to contain and run with Nunez, that's going to be an issue. Go ahead, Brian.
For me, we have to for that system to work, we need to get a goal early, because then they will attack us, and that will give us a chance they'll open up then. So for me, to get a goal early tomorrow is very important if we're going to play Darwin at the start. Because if they get, if it's 0-0, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they're thinking, you know what, we can park the bus here a little bit, So if we get a goal early, and that will sort of open the game up better for us.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's spot on. That's a definitely good analysis of what we need to do. Biggest threat we have tomorrow is VAR and the on-field referee. I got you. I think the biggest threat we have is the weather tomorrow. I think that's the only threat. I'm not really. So let's get these score predictions. Let's get these score predictions. We're coming up at the end of the show here. Get the score predictions. If you want to put scorer predictions, that'll be cool too. You get extra points for that. Dara's going 3-0. KJ is going 5-1. 5-1.
Bless KJ and Dara,
yeah. If we end up getting 5-1, that goal that we concede will be, unfortunately, the bigger story than the 5 goals we scored.
No, it won't. No, it won't. Don't be so negative. It won't.
We've got 3 Liverpool defenders in front.
We're going to do them by 4. We're doing by 4. We're doing by 4. 2 for Mo, 1 for Dom, and 1 for Gakpo.
Okay. Okay. I am sad to say that Joey isn't going to be a part of this game, primarily because I think Joey could have gotten his goal in this game.
He was on a roll.
He was getting closer and closer and closer. He's playing playing that center half position, so he's going to get opportunities from the crosses that come off of the corners. I really
8-0.
Huh?
8-0. Hustle Bones.
8-0? Maybe, you never know. Hustle Bones.
You know what? Remember last year? We were doing these sort of a lot of pit fans were like 6-7. We're going 8-0 this time, and this time we ended up with a bloody 0-0. That's what I'm going now. I don't want to go over the top of it.
0-0, are you?
Was that I'm about to say? You about to predict 0-0?
I'm going 5-0. Okay, 5. Nah, joking. I would take a 2-0 today.
Oh yeah, you take it all day, JK. Oh, I take a 1-0, man. I take a 1-0. Give me 3 points. Don't care what the score is. Give me 3 points. Yeah.
Especially after Arsenal
that would be poetic. We get an own goal as the opening goal.
Harry Maguire.
Harry
Maguire leading it into his own goal. He just leads the ball. Leadership.
He's just a bunch of Red Devils looking at each other stunned, like
how we do.
Yeah.
For for me, 3 points is a must because after Arsenal's result and Chelsea's today,
Yeah.
sorted. You couldn't ask for a better. Well, actually, Man City won, but at the end of the day, them two, Arsenal's, Chelsea, are the main sort of rivals, and them dropping points today. Yeah, man, it gives. I wouldn't say I'll be more relaxed about the game now, knowing
Mm-hmm.
3 points are there for us to just do it. Very important game tomorrow.
Yeah, no
Oh,
doubt.
those results today were
I just
brilliant
thought
for
about
us.
that too.
Brilliant.
Sorry, go ahead. Say your point. Right.
No, sorry. Yeah, like take it. Those two results today, Arsenal dropping 2 and Chelsea dropping 2, they were great for us. Really, really good. Gives
Right.
us
Yeah,
that
we had to take
extra
advantage of
kind
this. There's only so many
Yeah,
times where
really
we're
nice.
given this opportunity to take advantage of spreading.
Exactly. But we've done it pretty well
Um,
because I've seen over the last weekends, like the last say 2 months, City, Arsenal dropping points, and we went on to get 3 points. So we've took advantage of it this season. I mean, noticed we haven't really sort of forward in that way. Okay, Newcastle 3-3, but all in all, when Arsenal, Chelsea, and City have dropped points, we've taken advantage. Yep. And look how many games we've got a game in hand. We've got 2 games in hand on Arsenal now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's very important that we win tomorrow.
Putting in
But very confident.
everyone's score predictions here, the ones that offered it out. Pretty much.
Let's psychedelic. Long time no see, man.
I there was something that was said by KJ earlier, and it made me second think about what Brian had said about starting Kanate. I would say that I would prefer not to see him in this match, primarily from this is just, and hear me out, just because of the sloppy conditions that we probably will have on the pitch.
No, the pitch would be perfect, lads.
Okay. All right.
The pitch would be perfect. Yeah, no, the ground, the grass doesn't get affected like it used to.
Okay.
You know, don't worry. Don't worry.
All right.
I mean, again, if it goes ahead.
I mean, I've seen some ugly conditions sometimes from.
Yeah, but look, like I'm saying, come on. I think we're overplaying the whole weather thing a little bit. If it's okay to play, it's okay to play.
I've seen the
We'll
weather
be okay.
reports. It's going to snow in the morning until about 9. Then it's going to be raining all afternoon. So any snow that might have fallen, that'll be washed away with the rain.
Yeah.
Like if he's fit and firing and training, you know, Brian is an expert on grass. Yeah, probably, Tom. Not far off, mate.
Draw is a loss. Yeah, certainly. Is that what you're talking about? Or talking about
Yeah,
Thompson?
I think for us, I'm sure he's right in whatever he's saying. Yeah, you know, you like a good game sometimes with a bit extra slick on the pitch. Make it harder for them. Not just us.
It makes it a bit more tastier. Like pickles going in, you know what I mean? Like a proper.
Like we're saying earlier,
yeah,
they're already confused and deluded and are unaware about where they're supposed to be on the pitch.
Forest plays tomorrow.
Imagine if it's fucking wind and rain and snow. They'll even have less idea where we'll just cut through these boys. Bad weather, I think, would be actually an advantage to us. Everything, these boys are, like I said, they're lambs to the slaughter for me tomorrow. As far as I'm concerned, they're definitely lambs to the slaughter. So any disadvantage we can give them, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Bad weather included.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian is an expert on grass. Oh, well, we'll talk about that another time. Let's see.
Wolves play
You
Forest.
didn't have to read that out loud.
I just saw it. Yes.
Yeah, the Forest game is on Monday, KJ, against Wolves.
Yeah, it's against Wolves. At Wolves, by the way.
Forest, yeah.
I think Wolves will be all right. 7 points from 9.
Yeah, that'd be a big win for them against a Forest team that's had some really, really good success this year. The upcoming games for tomorrow are let's see. It's going to be they all played. So it's Fulham hosting Ipswich. It'll be obviously us hosting Manchester United. And then the game after that will be Wolves hosting Forest. Those are the 3 games for tomorrow. So
On Monday.
yeah.
Monday is the
wanna-
first game, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or yeah, that is Monday too. That is Monday. Actually, you're right. There's only 2 games tomorrow. You're right. And then the Monday game is Wolves Forest.
So after the United game, we've got Tottenham.
Forest.
midweek.
We got Forest. Well, yeah. In the league, we have Forest. Is the league.
Yeah, but we got FA Cup next weekend now.
Mm-hmm.
Accrington Stanley. So we've got Tottenham, Accrington Stanley,
We got
then Forest.
Spurs. We got League Cup, FA Cup, and then back to Forest.
So for me, after that League Cup game, I'm going strong against Tottenham away. I would rest all the players that we need to rest for the FA Cup game. Get them ready for that Forest game. Yeah, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That was very important that we got that sort of fixture for the FA Cup. Not away to Arsenal or Man United or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Quickly, Fulham Ipswich. Who do you have in that game? Fulham Ipswich.
I'm going to go for Fulham. Or a 2-2. Let's go 2-2.
Or a 2-2. You want to go?
Desmond. I'm going Desmond.
Go Desmond.
Mm-hmm.
No, 3-1.
You love yourself a
3-1
Desmond sermon. Go ahead.
Again.
Yeah.
You love a Desmond sermon. 2-2.
Desmond 2-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
3-1 Fulham. 3-1 Fulham.
3-1. Mm-hmm. Wolves Forest.
Ooh.
Are Wolves at home?
Yeah.
Wolves are at home. That's the Monday game.
Oh, that makes that tricky. Yeah.
I'm going with a
1-1.
I was going to say 1-1. Let's go with a 3-3.
I have a draw on that game too.
I got a draw in that game.
Yeah, it is very kind of real hard to pick that one, JK, isn't it, man? Like, like Nottingham Forest should beat Wolves, but they're away.
Wolves a bit of form. He's going Desmond.
I wouldn't be putting it in the accumulator anyway. I would not be putting that in the
It's a tough game to pick. It's a tough game to pick.
Yeah.
But Forest away are a good team. Let's get that right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got some good away results. So
yeah,
it'll be a tricky game.
Obviously, they're way a result. They're the only team to get a win against us.
Look, everyone's going to draw. Everyone's going to draw on that 1-1, 2-2. Nobody can pick that.
For the Wolves game, yeah.
Yeah, no one's picking that one.
Yeah, I saw KJ with the Desmond. Kevin with a good shout. That could be something that happens. Fulham, Harry Wilson has.
He's on a hot streak, man. He's on a hot streak.
A hot streak for himself and for his Fulham lot, and he is at the Cottage tomorrow. So maybe he can continue his hot streak. But yeah, I don't know. Ipswich will if Ipswich were to get a win, that'd be a surprise. I know a lot of people are on. Definitely,
it would be. Yeah.
But could I see them getting a draw against Fulham? Possibly too. That could be an opposite. There could be 2 draws tomorrow from them both, or tomorrow and Monday, I should say. But I keep saying Sunday. What's that?
No, it's like tomorrow. Also, I hope not.
Yeah. I keep saying tomorrow. That
it's weird having a game on a Monday. It's weird.
The Lap is a player that is certainly gotten a lot of attention lately, but we'll see if he can do something for them.
Fulham 2-1, Ipswich 1, Fulham Wolves 2-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Fulham beating Ipswich, but not by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Wolves one. Yeah, I'd love to be able to pick that game because you'd make nice money if you picked that one.
Yeah. Ipswich. I don't want to see Ipswich go down. To be honest with you, I'd like to see them stay up in the league. They're a fun team to watch. And then Fulham is having a decent year for themselves.
So hang on, 12. If Man City were relegated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Would they relegate the 3 teams and then relegate Man City and bring up 4 teams, or would they? I think they would. They give the team that would finish third, say, highest,
get
would they say,
saved.
okay, you are not
Yeah.
relegated now? Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think they do there?
I think I that's a very good question. I think I'll definitely research it, but my hunch is that they would, if they were to get relegated, then does it mean they bring up a fourth team to replace them?
Or save a team, and City would take one of the relegation places.
I think
I
they
think
would
I
possibly-
pref-
I think they would do more of what Hustle Bones is saying. They would relegate the 4 teams and then
and bring up,
and
give an
then bring
extra
up
promotion
and
place.
yeah, and then that would just be
Yeah, but the extra promotion
luck,
place
yeah.
wouldn't be the 4th in the championship. It would be, because at that point you would have had a championship
the
playoff.
playoffs.
So would you bring
Yeah.
up the winner, the loser of the playoff final? That's where it would get messy.
That
It would
gets
get
messy
Yeah,
quick.
that gets real messy real quick. Exactly. Yeah. I think you just leave. Yeah, basically, whoever is like the top relegated team would get a reprieve. Basically, that would be the only way to do it. Because otherwise, you're going into championship playoff finals and all that kind of stuff. People suing them because they got relegated because they went down. All that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It gets real messy, real quick.
Yeah, I don't. That's a very good question. And that's one I'm sure they are doing their best to hopefully not have to work out. And there's no, but you know what?
Oh,
though, too?
sorry. Can I just pause it?
Yeah.
Can I just posit the most hilarious thing of all time? Manchester City get relegated, and them getting relegated saves Manchester United from relegation, because Manchester United is third last. I would almost pay to watch that. If Manchester City get relegated, and them getting relegated in the circumstances we're talking about saves the third best team, which happened in Manchester United, I would pay £2,000 to go to the next Noel Gallagher concert. I'd be front row, bitch. I'm right there. Right there. Yeah.
With a Liverpool kit or something, or a shirt with Pep's face on it.
Oh, that guy had so much fucking mouth. So much mouth. Noel Gallagher has. Yeah, I would love to see them get relegated so badly. Obviously, we all want to see that, but.
Mm-hmm. I don't. That's a good. You know what though? I will say this: even if Manchester City were to get relegated, there's no guarantee, or there's no obligation, I should say, that the EFL has to accept Manchester City.
No, they don't. Exactly.
In
Completely
any
true.
of the leagues.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. They're not under obligation at all.
So
The Premier League cannot insert a team into the EFL. The EFL have to approve it. Yeah, completely correct.
So they could be on some like, we don't want your, you want to like
That'd be hilarious.
That would be some like, that would be some definitely some gravitas, because that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I heard your girlfriend kicked you out, so you just showed up at my door. No. Yeah.
Don't go knocking at my neighbor's
expected door. You expected me to leave you in. No, don't have to.
Nope.
That would be so funny.
Nope.
Too big to fail, huh? Too big to fail.
That would be humbling to say.
Stay humble, baby. Stay humble.
Humbling. That would be totally. That would be a meme and a half of Holland saying "stay humble" and the EFL saying, "No, you stay humble, my friend. Stay thirsty."
No, I'd love it to come up. Right, I'd love it to come up where it's like the promo is like match day 1 of the season, Manchester City away at Stockport County. Stay humble. You know what I mean? Just like you're all the way down League 4, then into League 2. Match day 1 of the season, Man City versus I don't know, Colchester. Stay humble, people. Stay humble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got to win your way back. Got to come
You
back.
gotta win your way back. That would actually be really. I would prefer to see that. That's why I think that would be a. It sounds harsh, but I think that would be a very noble thing for them to have to go and deal with. I mean, you sit
All
there,
the fans.
you get if they were to get adjudicated to be guilty of the crime, they have to the punishment should be fitting. They shouldn't be able to just basically have a year off and then climb and easily pretty much get right back into the Premier League. No, you'll have to go through. You'll have to do the long pathway to getting back into the league. I would totally be cool with that. I know that would be tough for a team like Manchester City, the way they've elevated their status, but I would think that Hustlebones, I hope Pep stays. I would put it to Pep to say, if you are a true rider, then you will stick with City and lead them for the next 3 years on their pursuit of getting back into the Prem in that 4th year.
Yeah, but 12 man, all these fans out there that tell you, "Oh, I supported them when they were in League 1, 3rd division, 4th division." Well, they're never in the 4th, but you 2nd division, 3rd division. Yeah, well, go again, dudes. Go again. You should be used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop getting all up to you about it. You were there back in the day. Okay, cool. Do it again. Juventus got relegated, came back and won the league within a few years. So go and do your thing, man. If you're that big, you'll come back.
Yep.
If you're that big, you'll come back. You'll be unstoppable. If Liverpool got relegated to League
while
2,
you're there, tell me how the National League is, and we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Tell me how the National League is, how it's working out in the National League, and then when you get to League 2 and League 1, then maybe we'll consider you an actual threat to join the Championship and then eventually the Premier League. That's how it would be. I think that'd be beautifully fitting. Beautifully fitting. But that's City's woes. Hopefully they can take their crosstown rival with them to being relegated. Hopefully they can do that. Obviously Manchester United wouldn't have to go to the National League possibly. But even so, how fantastic would that be to see a Manchester derby in the Championship?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, excuse me. That would be must see TV. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh man, what a time to be alive. That's right, Hustle Films. What a time to be alive.
Well, I said it back on earlier on. Roy Hodgson wrote his own death note at Liverpool when he said we're not too big to go down. Ruben Amorim walks into Manchester United and 2 weeks later he's saying we're not too big to get relegated. What's the difference? What is the difference, my friends?
I think that is very true. Very true. Well, I guess they would be part. What would they be? Part of the National League North, I guess, right? Is that what they would be a part of if they got relegated all the way to the National League?
Oh crap! Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they divvied up after that, but yeah, it gets.
I mean, they could go
very
even further down, but there's no guarantee that. I don't even know if the National League has.
I think there's an 8th tier. I think there's an 8th.
I think there's
tier that you can go down to the 8th tier basically, in which is still kind of sanctioned level, maybe 8th or 9th. But after that, you're talking.
Yeah, I think there's a 9th tier. I want to say there's a 9th.
Yeah, that's actually recognized. Yeah, you could go down to National League South, National League 4, yada 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 yada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but once you get below League 2, you get broken up into different sections and stuff. Yeah, you're not even all just in one league.
Mm-hmm.
They have National League North and South, exactly. Yeah, because you can't expect people who basically most of them will have day jobs to travel all over the country playing.
How
so they
awesome would
play.
that be to see?
Yeah, Harry
like,
Maguire, or not Harry Maguire, fucking, what's his name?
Jack
Bernardo
Grealish or
Silva.
something like that.
Yeah, Bernardo
You
Silva.
know,
Will he give a guard of
Uncle
honor to
Bender.
the fucking, yeah, what
Playing
dickhead.
against like you know some accountant or like you know or some guy that's like a plumber or something in his
Yeah,
in
the
his
Evo Stick League. That's another one. The Evo Stick League. That's like Pritt Stick. You know, it's like a super glue. Is Evo Stick? It's like so it's like the super glue league. They've
Oh, how
sponsored
far
it.
down
Yeah,
is that?
that's yeah, exactly. That's basically the thing below that would be like pure amateur,
That's
like complete. These guys are all amateurs anyway, but not even
oh
semi-pro.
man.
Like
I think
this is
that'd be
below
great. I
semi-pro.
think that would be what it should be actually. That way you're giving the experience, the experience and the privilege to some of these teams to play in a stadium like the Etihad. Imagine that. A stadium that they would only dream of stepping foot on. Now they get the opportunity. City versus Mansfield. There you go.
That's a beautiful game. That's what it's all about.
Can't get much better than that.
Yeah, City should be saying this is what we came here to do, is to spread football around the world. Well, you can start in Mansfield.
Exactly. Big Steve at the game, you know. Oh man, no disrespect to Big Steve, by the way. That is not a shot. I just would. He's someone that would go to the game because he's a ride or die City fan. So, I bet City get found guilty and they got to pay a fine. That's also Bones says. Big Steve probably would love it. He probably
just
would
a fine. Just a fine. No, it can't be justified. If they get guilty, it can't be just a fine.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be.
Evo Stick is just as good as the National League. Oof.
Like some fucking 3-year transfer ban shit or something like that. But the last time they got a transfer ban, they appealed it. And they were like, "Oh, okay." You know, hang on. What they didn't like? They're like, "We would like to lodge an appeal against this transfer." And oh, okay. Instantly, like straight away, they were allowed to get away with it. It's like, come on, guys. At least make it slightly difficult for them. No,
Yeah,
they get that shit turned over real
teams.
quick.
A lot of
They can't do that again. If they get done now, they have to get done properly. Either do them for nothing or just really hammer them.
Yeah, just keep it moving. Keep it moving. And I don't want to hear any talk about, well, just read the 100-page result of cast that tells us why we should have expected this. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha on that one. Oh man. Hopefully we have a conversation. Hopefully we get the joy of having a conversation with that City fan. She does seem like a nice person. If medals have to be returned, will Sterling give it to himself? That's a good question.
Interesting question. Yeah. Yeah, that's why the whole I'm not into the whole like re-awarding awards. You know, just take away what they won.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Well, what do you do with this and what do you do with that? Sheffield United set a precedent when they sued West Ham.
We had to say Brendan Rodgers.
I know, yeah. He'd be back there.
Premier League title winner.
Oh, he'd be back. Brendan be like, I'll do it open top bus parade.
He'll do a parade. Yeah,
Brendan Rodgers be like, are we not doing a parade for this one? Yeah. Are we not doing
smelling the mints?
He'll drive the fucking bus himself.
He'd pay for it. He'd run the whole show himself. He'd be like, I'll do it. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it.
He'd be driving the bus himself, being like, hey, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it.
Driving the bus? No. He's up top, man. He's Brendan front and center. Brendan front and center.
Yeah.
Big picture on the side of the bus, and you get them like cases for adverts and stuff like. You have a big face of his Brenda.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it?
How wild would that be? You'd have to say, not only would that be a wild asterisk, if you want to put it that way, on the league history, but you'd have to put Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as being a
Yeah,
Premier
that's the thing.
League
They get another one as
title
well. You see, that's the
winner.
thing. They get one, and he gets one. So fuck that.
That's why it's like, because it's not a net gain for us.
No, exactly.
It's not a net gain for us. They would get 2, we would get 2. So they couldn't go on
And the
about
moment is
not
gone.
having us.
Look, the moment is gone, though, dude. Look, the moment is gone.
I got you.
The moment is gone. You know, we'd like it on the on the wall. Change 18 to 20, nice one, or change 19 to 21, cool. But the moment is gone. You know,
Yeah.
you can never celebrate those wins with the players, with the manager. Like, we're joking about it, but you can't get that team back together and do an open top bus parade around the city.
Mhm.
You know, ask Inter fans. They don't mind the fact that they got those 2 titles that Juve lost when they got
Not
relegated.
one bit.
They don't care, but they weren't doing, you know, big open top. But you know, it's just look, we take them on the books. Cool, add to the number. But like I said, the moment is there. That's what
Yeah.
football is
Yeah.
about. Like, it's the moment. You know, that is.
But I think I
Like,
also
that
think
Brendan one. How long
that
ago was that? That's like a decade ago now.
the moment is gone. It will be gone for us. It will be stolen glory for us. But then again, the shame.
No, it's stolen. No, dude, it's stolen glory for City. That
Okay.
was the stolen glory.
Okay.
They were the ones who took this. If it turns out that they were faking it,
Mhm.
they're the ones who stole the fucking
Okay.
glory from.
Yeah, I get the perspective.
Yeah, fuck those guys. You know, they're the ones who came in. We should
I
not
just meant,
be
I
having
meant to
these
say it would be
conversations.
stolen glory. It would be glory that was stolen from us. That's what I was referencing.
Yeah, exactly.
I
We
agree with you.
this thing is just like, this is all on these motherfuckers. Like, we
Mhm.
just be a bit, you know, gritted teeth, basically.
Yeah.
More than anything, it's just a bit of gritted teeth. Look back, and hopefully, maybe it took 20 years, or we look. It may have taken 10 years longer than we wanted, but at least those guys got their fucking comeuppance, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what we should get. You know, that's what we all know what they deserve, and as long as that's what happens, yeah, gritted teeth, move on. But at least they got what was coming to them eventually.
Yep.
Justice shouldn't have a fucking what's the word? Justice shouldn't have a fucking time clock or whatever it is, you know,
Yeah.
or an expiry date.
Justin doesn't have a expiration date.
Yeah, you know, fuck that
Mhm.
shit. Like, give them what they're getting. But yeah,
We'll see.
we knew what we were doing. We knew
We'll
how
see.
good we were.
Yeah. So that is going to bring a wrap to this conversation. I told you we were going to have a little bit of a Manchester United preview in this. We're not little, but we had a Manchester United preview. We got to predict the scores. We got the predicted lineups. We got our even our predicted scorers involved into it. I don't know if I gave. I want to say the high fives, but I have a feeling that we might do a 6-0 win tomorrow if we can get that. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I like that. I like it.
But it's either 5 or 6. I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards 6 goals for tomorrow, but I'll settle on 5. I'll be conservative. And we also have have discussed some things about the league, some of the players, some of the other teams that are amongst it, and the chances of this and that possibly being a addition to the National League, if not the Evo League. First time you probably heard the Evo League in a hot minute in the stream. So shout out to the Evo League. Maybe you might be getting a new participant. Hopefully it comes with the letters of CITY. But anything you want to say to people before we let them do their thing on this Saturday? JK? Do you have anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, just enjoy the game tomorrow. 3 points. Let's go.
3 points. 3 points. Brian, any final thoughts that you would like to share?
Are we doing a roll call tomorrow
Absolutely.
morning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So exactly, people. Everybody, thanks for being here. But look out for the roll call tomorrow. What 4:30 our time?
hmm
JK,
hmm
is it? So that'd be 3:30 UK. Yeah, just the usual thing. Yeah, pray for a bit of rain to wash away the snow. Game is on. None of that nonsense. The last thing we need is another fucking postponed game.
Yeah, because it's actually
Yeah,
wait, the game is on. So that'll be 7:30. The game's on at 4:30 tomorrow, right?
yeah.
For
Okay, so yeah,
that'll be
3:30 UK
3:30.
for the roll call.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're here.
Make sure
You
you
know
are
what to do.
here.
You know what to do.
You can wear your obviously your Liverpool best, or you can wear whatever you like, but just be sure to wear a bit of pride and hope that we can, send the Red Devils home with the proper spanking that they deserve each and every time they try to step up to us. We've got to give shout out to the panel. Big up for JK. Big up to Nolante. That was he was here. He was here. And big up to Brian, of course. Shout out to hopefully Lee is all good. And shout out to KJ in the house too. I see KJ in the chat. But big up to the chat in general. If you could do what Bernie has suggested, that'd be really, really appreciative. The likes are absolutely important, but the comments, I would say, are even more important. It shows that you do want to, it shows an engagement and appreciation for the channel, but we'll do our best to always answer those and engage back with you. So if you have questions or you want to say a statement, it could be, hey, good show, or hey, bad show, whatever the case, constructive criticism, whatever it is like you want to give. You can give it, or more so, if you feel generous, maybe still in the holiday spirit, you could just give a proper positive, hey, keep up the good work. So we do appreciate each and every comment that does get included. Other than that, I would just have to say, up the Reds, people. That's how it comes down to. That's what it all comes down to. Up the Reds, and we'll hopefully get this 3 points tomorrow, push further atop of the league. This is certainly going to be a fun ride tomorrow. So I hope that you're with us on the roll call to embark on it. And we will see you tomorrow. All right, people, take care, and up the Reds as always again.